everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Naya and on this channel we talk everything about manifestation, esotericism, and so much more. So in today's video, I want to talk about 2025, manifesting in 2025, and what I am going to do differently and what I will suggest you to do as well to better your manifestation. Because I don't know if you noticed, you guys, because the time passed so fast, but it's already been, I think, almost 3 years that I've been on this channel specifically only talking about manifestation. I have manifested specific things in front of your eyes. I mean, if you don't know me yet, subscribe and hit the ring bell button, of course, so you don't lose all the updates and my success stories, etc., and everything that I share over here, because what I teach about manifestation comes from my direct experience, and this channel is a diary of my direct experience of experimenting with manifestation in order to help you guys find your own unique way to manifest, because that's what I believe in. But if you've been around for a while on this channel, and God forbid you've been around since the beginning, thank you so much if you've been. You saw me having nothing and even 0 subscribers and manifesting virality on YouTube and manifesting a relocation, having fun together, manifesting so many specific people, so many specific things. And we shared throughout the journey within this 3 years, and I cannot even believe that it's already been 3 years, I think almost. I shared all the techniques that I used. I heavily experimented with all of them. I actually have a video dedicated to that. The link, I will put it over here or down below. And I learned so much from this experience. I started with law of attraction, then I developed more the teachings of Neville Goddard and law of assumption. I made my own. I studied Joe Dispenza. I studied hypnosis. I studied so many things, and then more and more and more that I was getting specific things, the more I was realizing what I want to share it with you all today, that I already a little bit sharing my lives. So remember to subscribe to don't miss my lives, where I answer also your questions. And so today I just want to do a sum up of everything that I've learned so far. I'm going to talk about I have never failed to manifest anything specific, exactly how I did it. And however, despite that, what is changing in 2025 and where I'm moving and what I'm doing differently with the awareness that I have, and with the awareness of being so successful at manifestation. Now this is the things that I wish I knew better before, and these are the things that I'm taking with me that I'm going to do in 2025. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Before I get started more in depth with today's video, of course, you guys, I need to tell you that if you're interested in more esoteric content, tarot readings, the behind the scenes of this channel, and more in-depth concept about manifestation, or you want a chat dedicated to find other people that believe in manifestation too and can support your journey, I'm also there in the chat. You can click down below. We have the Witchy Tribe. It's my Patreon community, and you are invited to have extra content once a week, plus the chat and the messages, etc. And of course, if you want a spiritual reading with me, manifestation reports, a soul readings report, everything is in my Ko-Fi. You can support me on Ko-Fi. The link is down below. And in case you're looking for an app for your affirmations, hypnosis, meditation, podcast, life coaching, and so much more, of course, I have to mention my favorite app, Aura. With the link, with my affiliate link down below, you're gonna get a 40% discount if you want to go premium, but as well, of course, a free trial to try the app in the first place. Again, the link is down below, and now let's get started for real with today's video. So finally, the introduction is done. I want to talk about 3 different concepts in today's video, and the concepts are manifesting with the concept of being unlimited rather than limiting yourself. So going towards the unknown and moving beyond the limited, the ego, and the past assumption of your experiences. And then I want to talk about what I think about coaching and one-on-one coaching right now, and what I'm doing differently, not just as a coach myself, but even as a consumer, because I think that my perspective can help you out discerning whether or not coaching is for you, and what I think about coaching now compared to 3 years ago, for example. And then we're going to wrap it up with some of my experience and some examples as usual. So let's start with the first thing, being unlimited. So as you guys know, I manifested so many specific things, and the thing is, I manifested them so fast. And from that experience, I learned that law of attraction, at least the law of attraction community as a whole, was wrong in teaching, in my opinion, in teaching people what it's meant to be for you, it's going to be for you. The universe has your back. Don't worry about a thing. These are true spiritual concepts that they are taken very lightly, shallow, and superficially by the New Age community as it is right now. And they lead people into confusion, to laziness, and unfocusedness. So obviously, that learning law of assumption and learning that you are the operant power and you don't have to just sit around and waiting for things to fall on your lap because the universe has your back, allows you to understand better how your brain works, allows you to be proactive, allows you not to have a victim mentality, allows you to really understand your powers of as a creator and as an infinite consciousness, or as an extension of infinite consciousness. It allows you to understand focus and have better focus in general and make more conscious, healthy decisions for your life. So those are the two aspects that I learned, like detaching from this idea that, oh yeah, whatever is gonna happen is good. Like, I mean, there is truth to that. I'm gonna get to this in a second, but there is also so much power in manifesting things there are specifically. And I think that manifesting specific things is necessary for growth and is necessary for awakening, and is necessary to understand that you are unlimited. It's a step to understand consciousness, the power of creation, and being unlimited. But then, as for everything that human beings do, where they create pendulums and they create structures that then limit us, the law of assumption community, as the law of attraction community, became a very limited space where anything that you say becomes a limited belief. And I just want to be nice with the people who say those things out there. You are exhausting. Not everything is a limiting belief. There are spiritual truths out in the universe, and there is a deeper truth. And it's not a limiting belief. It's actually a limiting belief in and of itself to think that manifesting things specifically is the only way to go, because you're limiting yourself only to that experience. And I'm going to explain you a little bit better why. So, this is what I learned so far. What I learned that, in my opinion, is wrong from the law of attraction is that the universe doesn't care about you. It's not true that the universe cares about you. The universe is just its own thing. The universe is expanding, and we don't even know exactly how it operates in all parts of the universe. We know the visible universe, but the universe in and of itself doesn't care about you. There is a difference between saying the universe and the spirit world, your spirit guides and the universe. Your spirit guides and angels and all of these good entities, to make it simple, they don't live in the universe. That's what you guys don't understand sometimes. They live in a place, in a dimension that is beyond what is physical. The universe is physical. So the universe doesn't give a damn about you. You have to, as a spiritual being having a human experience, you have to take responsibility for what you're creating in this universe, because you came in this experience as a soul to test yourself. So the universe is not testing you, is yourself testing yourself to remember who you are and to create more and more and more, as infinite consciousness does, in an infinite way. So that's the first thing that I think the spiritual, so you see how a true concept gets narrowed down and shallowed to serve like a specific purpose, like, oh, the universe has your back. No, not really. Your spirit guides have your back, but they don't belong to the universe. The universe is a physical experience, and we are all part of this physical experience that has its own laws, like the 7 Hermetic principles, and you are testing yourself to remember who you are, that you are an infinite creator, and you do it through life experience that is physical and that it's in the 3D, and it has nothing to do with what happens esoterically in the spirit world. So that's another thing that obviously I learned through the years, not just these 3 years, but in the 7 years. However, so what happens is in the last 3 years, I have specifically worked a lot on manifesting specific things, as you guys know. And there's a lot of power to that, because instead of leaving things to the universe, I took charge of my life and responsibility. I am going to manifest living in London. That's always been my dream. I'm going to manifest this specific person. I'm going to manifest this specific amount of money. I'm going to manifest this specific amount of subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to manifest this specific thing, this, that. And especially through my experience, but even the experience of manifesting this specific house where I am right now, and manifesting living in London, I realized that I was so limited. Because yes, it's true. On one hand, I learned so much about the power of manifestation, and I learned so much of the fact that yes, you can manifest everything that you want. No shadow of a doubt. It's not true that you cannot. You can. You can impress your subconscious mind to believe whatever it is that you want. However, what is sometimes, not always, but sometimes what you want, you only want it because you don't know any better. And I cannot put it better than this. I thought that this house would be the best option because I didn't know any better, because I didn't live in London. I didn't know the areas of London. I didn't know exactly what I wanted or I needed as a family with a baby. And so, yes, I did manifest this specific house, but then it turned out not to be the best choice because simply I didn't know better. Now, is there anything wrong with this? Absolutely not. And I am sure that it happened to you as well. You might have manifested something specific and then realize, oh, shoot, that wasn't the best course of action or the best thing for me. And the reason that is because what we want is limited and conditioned to what we know. And what we know is limited and conditioned to our past assumptions and experience. So that is why when people promote this idea in the law of assumption, you can get everything that you want. You should go for what you want. That's limiting. That's a limiting belief. And to say that to open up yourself to a divine thing or to the unknown is a limiting belief, no, it's not. You got it wrong. Going towards the unknown, communing with your spirit guides and angel, and say, this is what I want, and this is what I think is the best thing for me. However, show me, God, show me infinite consciousness. What is the best thing that I need? I want the divine expression of what I want. That is being unlimited, because you're opening up to wishful fields that you don't even know about. So perhaps if I would have manifested my divine house, I would have got even better, but I was so stubborn and stuck into, no, it has to be this specific one, that therefore I limited myself. But within limiting myself, I obviously realized this lesson, and I obviously realized my power of creation, that I can create everything that I want. So you see, guys, now what I'm doing differently in 2025 is this understanding, is having balance in my manifestation, is the awareness that yes, it's true, I can get what I want, but what I want is limited by what I know, and I can be more open to what is it that I need. The same thing happened for London. I mean, I thought that London would be the perfect place for me, a super esoteric city where I would learn so many things more about esotericism and I would connect with like-minded people. However, the reality of the story was very the opposite. I mean, yes, it's true, London is a very esoteric city and there are like-minded people in terms of there are esoteric circles over here, and however, I don't think I was as much aware of the fact that London is part of the Black Magic Triangle, which I'm going to talk about on my Patreon if you're interested in this topic. Some people say it's not true. Some people say this is a legend, that it has no source. Some people say it's true. We're going to talk about it on Patreon if you guys are interested. But essentially there is a triangle of energy vortex in the world, and there is this triangle of cities, which is San Francisco, part of Torino in Italy, and London. They are part of the black magic triangle. Now, whether this is true or not, like I said, we're going to talk about it on Patreon. It is undeniable that in London there is a dark energy. Aleister Crowley, has lived here, and he's been his base for the longest time, where he's performed so many of his rituals, just to name one person. And there is so many people connected to black magic and Satanism as well in London that is pretty shocking to find out. And so obviously all of this, in my opinion, plays out into the collective consciousness, not even mentioning the collective consciousness of thoughts of people that are stressed out all the time in the city. So I thought that this would be the best place for me and that I would love it and this and that. And I did specifically manifest to live here. I regret that decision. I'm still thinking about it because perhaps I realized that this wasn't the divine place for me to be, and it's not making me feel good at all. And so with that being said, what I'm doing differently in 2025. As usual, I go back, sorry if this video is a little bit longer. As usual, I go back my book from Florence Scovel Shinn, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And I read my favorite quotes again, because you see, Florence Scovel Shinn was a teacher. First of all, she was one of the first women, I think, teaching, that we know at least, teaching the law of assumption and the power of affirmations. And for that, she will forever have my support. Second, she changed my life, because every single time I chose her method, it worked wonderfully. For example, when I manifested my husband, my divine match, I didn't go for anyone specific, and we're still together. And still, we have such a telepathic connection in so many stupid things. And I think manifesting him was the best manifestation that I have ever achieved. And so I want to bring that awareness of manifesting what is divinely right for me throughout 2025, but for everything else. So not just one specific thing. Okay, for love, I'm going to go for the divine match, but for all these other things, I'm going to be a control freak. No, now I want to do everything differently, where I am asking only for my divine things in everything. And we're going to confront ourselves with this experience throughout, as I will share it obviously on the channel, and I will tell you, did it work, did it not work, what was my experience, what was my lesson, so we can all learn together. And through my experience, you are gonna see, is it gonna work for me? I'm gonna try it with her. So it's like a challenge that we can do together throughout the year. But essentially, I took back Florence Scovel Shinn within this awareness and these thoughts that I was having, and I remembered particularly a story that I want to read to you guys. I know this video is long, pause it, take some tea, let's read the story together. I don't want to do these videos in a rush. I already talk fast as I do, which is pretty fast. You can fast forward it if you are bored, but I'm going to read this story because it's very important for me to share. So essentially, this is a story that expresses what I want to take as a lesson for 2025 and what I'm doing differently. And it goes as follows. For example, she says in chapter The Law of Karma and the Law of Forgiveness, page 31, sorry. A woman with a strong personal will wished she owned a house which belonged to an acquaintance, and she often made mental pictures of herself living in the house. So this woman is manifesting a specific house. She's not manifesting a house that looks like that. She wants the house of this friend of hers, and she wants this specific house, and she's using visualization. Specifically, she's visualizing herself living in this house, this specific house. How many of you can relate with this? This is the same as manifesting a specific person. This is the same as manifesting anything specific, whether you use visualization or affirmation. You're specifically asking for this specific thing. Not something similar, not something close to this. You want that specific thing. And you can. And she succeeds. Let me continue reading. In the course of time, the man dies. So her friend dies, or acquaintance. I'm going to call it friend because, she knew him. In the course of time, the man died, and she moved into the house. So she gets what she wants. She lives inside the house, and in order to manifest this, the man has to die. can you imagine, like, please just wait for a second and imagine how specifically you can get your desire, how scary accurate you can be, and at the extent that this world can mirror whatever it is that you want. You can get anything. Anything, and whoever tells you the opposite is lying. You can get anything, like this woman did. The man died and she ended up in the house. The manifestation accomplished, right? So several years afterwards, coming into the knowledge of spiritual law, which is another law within this universe, she said to me, do you think I had anything to do with the man's death? Florence replies, yes. She was very straightforward. Yes, your desire was so strong, everything made way for it. And this reminds me of Neville Goddard when he used to say, if you want something and you're fixated on it specifically, if millions of people have to move in order to get whatever it is that you want, they will move. That's how powerful you all are. That's how scary manifestation can get. So even Florence Scovel Shinn, that believes in something different for herself and for her clients, said this. She cannot deny the power of spiritual law. If you really want something, yes, you can have it, and your world will do anything to give it to you. That's just the truth, and nobody can deny this, okay? So yes, your desire was so strong, everything made way for it. But, there is always a but. You paid your karmic debt. And this is not a limiting belief. Whoever say that this is a limiting belief, you just have no experience. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be nice. But if you say that your actions do not, your even energetic wishes and your energy doesn't have any consequences, because when you say that karma doesn't exist, you're saying, because karma means action. Energetic action. If you think that your energetic action doesn't have any ripple effect into the collective or in your even experience, I am sorry, you're only saying this because you have no experience in esotericism, which is fine. Go out there and experiment and come back in a couple of years. That's all I have to say. So you paid your karmic debt. Your husband, whom you love devotedly, died soon after. So she gets the specific house. She goes to the extent where this man has to die for her to live in this house. And when she moves there, her husband passes away. Because obviously it had energetically, her desire had a ripple effect. Now, she might have done this unwillingly or unconsciously. Nevertheless, it had to happen because balance always has to be restored. Remember what I said in my older videos? There is a law in the universe, in this physical universe, that is called the law of balance, which is, importance level, excess potential, but as well, everything always swings in a pendulum moves. Everything needs to always be kept in balance. Look throughout the universe, it's like this. Even the ancient Hindu Vedas tale, Shiv, the chaos, and Brahm, the creator. It's always about a polarity. I mean, in China, they have the yin and the yang, if I'm correct, the dragon and the tiger. It's always this polarity. I mean, in astrology, we see the dragon. In Indian astrology, I think, in Vedic astrology, the head and the tail of the dragon, Ketu and Rahu. There is always this polarity, this pendulum swings, and everything needs to always be kept into balance. So that's why certain things happen in the way that they do. This is a fundamental law of the universe. If you go dive deep into esotericism, you would know this, and you wouldn't think that this is a limiting belief. Like I said, I'm going to repeat it again. If you think that those things are limiting belief, it's simply because you're not experienced. It's as simple as that. So that doesn't mean though you cannot get anything that you want. There are ways to even bypass karma or to make it less. There are ways to go around it, but nevertheless, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So, your husband, would you love devotedly, died soon after, and the house was a white elephant on your hands for years. The original owner, however, could not have been affected by her thoughts had he been positive in the truth. Nor her husband, but they were both under karmic law, Florence says. The woman should have said, feeling the great desire for the house, infinite intelligence, give me the right house, equally as charming as this, the house which is mine by divine right. The divine selection would have given perfect satisfaction and brought good to all. The divine pattern is the only safe pattern to work by. Desire is a tremendous force and must be directed in the right channels or chaos ensues. Guys, I'm sorry, this is not limiting belief, this is awareness. That's all. Awareness that comes through experience. I had the same exact experience every single time I want to get something extremely specific. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes chaos comes afterwards. Literal chaos. And it's because of this, because that wasn't your divine selection, or the way you have affirmed for it has made it happen, but not in the divine way, because you are so limited that you only want to get what you want because you're not able to see beyond that, because you can only get what you think you know, because what you know comes from your past experience. Like I said, it's not even your fault, it's just the way this reality and humans are constructed. In demonstrating, the most important step is the first step to ask. All right. Man should always demand only that which he is by divine rights. At the woman taking this attitude, if this house as I desire is mine, I cannot lose it. If it is not, give me its equivalent. The man might have decided to move out harmoniously, or another house would have been substituted. Anything forced into manifestation through personal will is always ill-got and has ever bad success. I'm going to read it again, and we're going to talk about Crowley in a second. Anything forced into manifestation through personal will is always ill-got and has ever bad success. I experienced this myself, and the teaching of Crowley was exactly this, because before in magic, for example, there was certain rules, you like this ones, you need to perform under the golden rule, where you only should get what is divinely right for you, you shouldn't harm anybody, da. Crowley revolutionized all of this philosophy because he wanted to establish his own religion, which was Thelema. And I have a video about Crowley, and he said, no, my will is under love. So it's not love, it's not like, he wasn't saying love above all, he was saying love under my will. So I decide specifically what I want, and that is love. Love for who? For myself. Because that's the selfish act of getting exactly what it is that you want, despite any other ripple effects that you can get around you. It's love under will. You understand? That's what Crowley was saying. And so with that, all of this philosophy, you can get what you want, your will is more important, fine. But then within that, there is also the concept of find your own true will, which is a different story, and it's to find who you really are and your own expression. But that's a topic for a different video. This video would be already too long. But all of this concept have been around since forever in the esoteric community, and they're still debatable. But I do agree with Florence Scovel Shinn. There is, even if you don't believe that something bad can come to you, because sometimes I got something specific, like specific people, and nothing bad came to me. But did I limit myself? Yes, 100%. Because like I said, what you think you want is only what you think you know, because it comes from your past experience. So what am I doing differently in this 2025? I want to experiment even more with the teachings of Florence Scovel Shinn, and besides that, I want to experiment with this idea, God show me the way. I will only now throughout the 2025, manifest with this affirmation. I, infinite intelligence, show me my divine house, show me my divine city, show me my divine anything, and let's see how it goes. So that's what I'm doing differently. Then second, these other points I will be quicker. So the second point that I wanted to talk about was coaching and one-on-one coaching. I am not going to offer any more one-on-one coaching. I think it has its own place. I do think though that people sometimes, not all people and not every time, but sometimes and some people do confuse coaching, life coaching, manifestation coaching with therapy. I have a video dedicated about this on Patreon where I explain the difference between coaching and therapy. First and foremost, a manifestation coach is not certified to be a therapist. So that is already like a no-no for me. But on the other hand, therapy has its own place, and it is a place of healing, understanding, and it has their own way of, deal with things so that is different from a manifestation coaching. Both can go hand in hand, or you can do first therapy and then coaching. So that already for me, it's a huge difference that I don't think people deeply understand. Second, and that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. I actually think that they should go hand in hand, but they're different. They're very different methodology and philosophies and ways of thinking, and they have different purpose. And I still do believe that coaching for some people has its own place. I definitely benefited it for a very short time. As I said, I did coaching with Sammy, and that was beneficial 3 years ago, where I was at the beginning of my journey with Law of Assumption. She gave me a lot of motivation, and it was wonderful. So I think that it does has its place. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, it's bad. But I also think that it has its own place for a very short period of time. I also think, because I was reading the other day from Erickson, H. Erickson, which was a famous American psychiatrist, psychologist, and one of the founder of hypnotherapy, if I'm correct. I was reading that he was also doing one-on-one coaching or session, and then he realized that the power of storytelling, and he realized that actually when he was gathering people in large webinars or sessions, or like he didn't have YouTube, but for example, in a YouTube video like this where a lot of people can hear you, there is a better healing effect. And this is why Neville Goddard himself was doing lessons and seminars, because when you are in a setting of lesson and seminars, the teacher has an expanded energy that goes to the collective consciousness, and through the power of sharing personal stories and metaphors, or even through the tarot, they anchor the client through archetypes. Erickson found that actually the power of storytelling and archetypes and collective consciousness has more power to trigger the subconscious mind and to change patterns and habits. That's why I do not want to longer offer one-on-one coaching, because I think it has its place, and I definitely seen some people improve, but I see more people improving when they were just watching my videos or where they were participating to my webinar. I see deep transformations when they were doing tarot readings for the power of archetypes, like we said before, and channeling as well. I saw more in-depth and profound transformation during my YouTube videos, which are totally for free, and through my webinars. So what I want to do is live webinars and coaching sessions as I used to do before. They are at a lower price ticket. More people can come, and the more people can come, the bigger transformation we can get. I will probably do more videos about this topic for what I'm reading and what I'm studying, and I want to dedicate myself to more hypnosis and probably getting my certification in hypnotherapy, so I don't even have time to do one-on-one coaching. But I just don't think that one-on-one coaching, and I'm going to be honest, is as effective as collective classes. And so that's what I'm doing differently in 2025, and I'm definitely going to stick to it. And also I want to conclude this video on what I'm doing differently, and the reason why I don't believe anymore that much into one-on-one coaching and this entire coaching thing. I believe that if, for example, if you get to me and you got money, or to anyone else, and you just ask a question and you're saying, can you give me like a strategy that I can use, or what is your thought, what strategy should I use for these specific things, or what affirmation do you think are best? That's just an advice that you're giving, and that's fine. But the constant reminder and motivation that you got from coaching, I think that actually injures your progress in the long term, not short term, but in the long term. And that's my opinion. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I also got back from my iPad the quote from Neville Goddard, and I want to read this to you all. So Neville Goddard used to say, "You do not need a teacher or a guru. You do not need anyone to motivate you. You yourself are the operant power. Your own wonderful human imagination is God, and that is all you need to manifest your desires. You only need you." And what I notice is that when people have a teacher or a guru, they tend to idolize the teacher and give their power away. And I hate that. I just want you to know that this channel, it's not about me teaching. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a guru. I do not want anybody to idolize me. This is just a girl, Naya, sharing her experience. That's why when I get comments like, "Oh my God, you blabber so much about your husband or your personal experience. I just want to know how to get it down." You don't understand. This is a channel that I use as a diary to share my experience and experiment in the world of esotericism and manifestation. And yes, through my stories, I teach, I guide, but not because I'm a teacher or a guide, because simply that's the power of storytelling. And that's where I stand, and I want to stand with even more honesty, because that's, I think, it's the best way to make you find the best way for you to manifest, because ultimately your true teacher and guru is your own experience, your soul that lives inside you. And that's also what I'm doing more differently. I'm doing with better awareness, sorry, the better awareness in 2025, in a way differently in this channel. And that's why I think Neville Goddard was never doing one-on-one coaching, because wisely enough, he understood the power of storytelling, and he understood the power of the subconscious mind gets really imprinted when you hear something, even in a classroom setting, or when you read something that inspires you. So the best way to change people and to make them better, or to make them manifest, not change people, like, you know what I mean, like change their patterns of behavior so they manifest what they want, is actually by inspiring them. And you inspire them by sharing real stories. So that's what I'm doing differently in 2025. I hope that this video made sense, and I hope you can get inspiration, which means in spirit. It means alignment for this 2025 in order for you to find your perfect way to manifest. And like I said, I will definitely prioritize more alignment in 2025, divine inspiration, and divine manifestations. Are you ready for the ride? Definitely I am. We're gonna see each other next week for another video. Remember to subscribe and hit the rainbow button. Participate to the giveaway. I'm gonna put the link down below of the video, because when I'm gonna reach 100,000 subscribers, and we are so close, you guys, yes, are gonna win an unlimited coaching with me. But this is different because it's gonna be only one person doing coaching with me for a limited amount of time. It's unlimited DMs for 1 month, and that's all you need. And after that, you won't need any more coaching ever again. It's for free. Like I said, the person that is gonna win doesn't have to pay for it. And then you're also gonna get a premium subscription to Aura, again, for free. So I hope definitely one of you is gonna win. So participate to the giveaway. The link is down below. And yes, you guys, I'm gonna go now. I love you, and see you very soon. Bye.